Tarot. My name is Carmen. Today we have a reading for you about somebody who has gone up against something established, whether that is you versus, your boss or leadership team, or maybe it's you versus the bullies at school. There's something here where it's like, I've always won, or I've always had like the power here, always been in charge. You should just like stick to what you know, or you should just deal with the fact that we're in charge here. We always win, or we always, get what we want. But whoever I'm reading for, you've stood up to this dynamic and said, I don't think so. I think I'm going to prove you wrong. I think I'm going to do something that you didn't see coming. So it could even be like someone who starts a new business and there is maybe some significant competition, a business that has been doing really well, but they rest on their laurels. And when you come along, you're different. You offer something that people are looking for, or you find a creative way to get what you want, and it's your creativity that sets you apart. So this will be exciting. Hello, Rachel. Hello, James. Hello, Shayla. Hello, April. How we doing? Let's go on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box if you need to, along with more information on how to become a member. I did just post some new members only readings. And you can also find my link to my Etsy shop if you are interested in a homemade soy candle. Let's dive in. What are we going to use? We're going to use the Visconti Sforza. Hold on, please. Apparently it takes me like 4 different times to get all of the cards. I think I need to take a break. That was exhausting. All right, what else do we have? There you go. All right, what else about this magician, please? Someone who adapts and offers something different. Did I drop one? I did. Ugh. 5 of Cups in the reverse. And the King of Wands. I know. I'm supposedly, going to lose. I have no chance, but I'm still going to try to do something a little bit differently. I'm still going to give it a try. It's like you enter a hot dog eating contest and the same person in that town has won the hot dog eating contest for a whole decade. Like, you can try if you want, but Uncle Freddie over there's won for 10 years, so I don't know if you've got what it takes. And you're like, hold my beer. Hello, Duffy. How are you doing? Hello, Mr. Mystic. How are you doing? Shayla, it's a little bit of an obsession, but I admire it. So this King of Wands is about somebody who's going after what they want, even though there are those who say, it's impossible. There's no way you're going to get that. There's already like a leader in the field, or there's already somebody who always gets that title. And you say, nah, I think I can find something they don't do well enough. This is the King of Swords, and we have the 3 of Swords. Someone's looking at you like, that's not okay. Why would you do that? I've always won the hot dog eating contest. You should just like accept that. So maybe there's someone who feels entitled to a promotion at work, and they're frustrated because you are also applying for that role. Like, I was next in line. I should automatically get that. Or I'm the hot dog eating champion for the last decade. How dare you join the contest? Oh, that's awesome, Mr. Mystic. I hope your day goes well. So we have the Hanged Man. This is someone who's realizing if they want to be at the top of their game, if they want to continue to be the leader, they might actually have to do something a little bit different. They might have to prove themselves. Maybe it's been really easy for them to win that title for an entire decade because nobody else really wanted to compete. In Downton Abbey, Maggie Smith's character was always the one chosen for like the rose competition until, ooh, was it Mr. Dudley? Something like that. I don't know. But this is like step aside. If you can't consistently be the best, then you shouldn't be threatened by somebody who knows how to innovate or knows how to offer something spectacular. So there's someone here who's threatened by you, but they don't want to admit it. They would rather make it seem like you're just kind of wasting time by trying to communicate some sort of intent here to go for the same thing. Well, you can try if you want, but that promotion has my name all over it. You can compete, but everybody knows I'm gonna win. I don't know if they're gonna win. Yes. Hello, Grave Encounters. Welcome back. Hey, Tiana. How are you doing today? What else do we have? The Emperor and the Queen of Wands. So from their position of power, it's like they're looking down on you like, okay, minion, if you really think that you can do better than me, hit me with your best shot, right? Fire away. Let's see what you got. But just know that when I embarrass you and I win anyways, that I warned you. I think they're going to be upset because I think you're going to win. So we have the Four of Pentacles. They've been holding back. They haven't really been trying as much as they could. We have Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune. You have something here that the reigning champion lacks. I think it's just the fact that you really want to win, or the fact that you are motivated to be your best self in order to increase your chances of winning. Hello, Rachel. How we doing? That's awesome. I hope work goes well for you, Tiana. So we have the Sun, the Six of Pentacles, and the Star in the reverse. So the stars, they're bright, but they're not as bright as the sun. And with the gong, anyone ever participate in a gong show? It's like this person didn't think anybody could reach higher than they could or do better. And you're over here like, no, really though. You're not even trying that hard. I'm gonna be able to beat that in like 2 seconds. It's like somebody, okay, I don't really do sports, but which way is it? If you're like Division A, are you the best? Or would AA be better? I think AA is lower on the thing, right? Y'all help me out here. If you are used to being the biggest fish in a small pond and then somehow you end up in the ocean, you're gonna be, you know, kind of slapped around a little bit. Thank you, James. Let me add that for you. How great is everything? I've added that. Thank you, James. That sounds like a lot, Tiana. I believe in you. Yes. Hello, Key Controller. How are you doing? All right. I don't know why I chose to put that on the bottom shelf. That seems like a bad idea on my part. This is the Zombie Tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Cups in the reverse. Four of Wands in the reverse. You're about to unseat the person who considers themselves like undefeated. You're about to knock them out of the top category, or you're about to show your value in a way that people haven't really seen before. You know, people have their heyday, or, you know, maybe it's a block of years where they seem undefeatable. But then you show up and you're like, I'm going to push that a little bit. I'm going to show you that you haven't actually been working to improve your game. So we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse and the King of Hazards, or the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So someone who just kind of assumed, I'm always going to be top dog, they're getting shown the door. They're rightfully being challenged because it seems like they've just been kind of resting on their laurels. Like, oh, I win that every year. It's a piece of cake for me. I mean, I'm sure none of you could do it, but I barely even have to try. Oh, I hope that goes well for you, April. Hello, Newport. Hello, Olga. How are we doing today? Ooh. Hello, Fridge. How are you doing? Happy birthday. I hope you have the best birthday ever. Will I find love again? I've added that for you. So we have the Tower and the Nine of Hazards, which would be the Nine of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse. Why is it in the reverse? Because we have someone who's like, oh, I'm the best around. I look around and I see no competition. Because that's what happens when people are like, oh, nobody can compete with this. You have to like keep training or keep educating yourself, learning new techniques or new strategies, whatever your trade is. If this was somebody who's used to winning, you know, whatever giant marathon, isn't like the London Marathon one of the biggest? If you don't train, you're not going to have a chance. This is somebody who is like, I've won several times in a row. It'll be fine. Nobody can beat me. Hello, Lou. How are you doing? Oh, no. Sending you a big hug. Yes. I actually, you know, we joke, but I had a coworker who last minute decided to sign up for Grandma's Marathon. Of course, this was back when I lived in Minnesota. Now, look, if you had like cheese dipped in other cheese with like a cheese stick and you carried that in front of me, I could probably run for like 5 miles if I needed to. But a marathon? I'm not signing up for that. I know my limits. It's not my thing. And I like my toenails where they are, is the thing. I had a friend who was big in running, and she told me about losing her toenails and how that's just like kind of normal. And I'm like, you know, you don't think that's like a problem? Doesn't like deter you from wanting to run that much? I don't know about that. But anyways, my coworker ran Grandma's Marathon with like 3 weeks of training, and it just like was painful. I was like, gosh, it's almost like you should have like prepared longer or something for that. It was painful for him and he knew it would be. This is somebody who's like, no, it'll be fine. I don't need to worry about it. Two of Hazards, which is the Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Hazards, or the Seven of Pentacles. We have someone else who's like, okay, if you're not going to work on that, if you're not going to train, then I will. Good call, Rachel. Hello, Tom. How you doing? Ooh, enjoy the mozzarella. Hello, Betty Boop. How we doing? What was that song I was quoting the other day? I think it's called North North. Can't run for nothing but the police. What else do we have? This person just expects to win, or they expect to get the promotion, and then you show up and they're like, dang it, now I have to actually like try. Now I might not actually win. That's so rude of you. Why couldn't you have just like stayed over there? So by virtue of throwing your name in the hat or pursuing this thing, now we have someone who's like actually a little bit nervous. Maybe I won't get chosen. Maybe I won't get, you know, the roses. Maybe I won't get the trophy. Five of Wands in the reverse. I didn't think there was anyone who could compete with me, and then like you show up and now I have to like work and stuff, and I hate that. So they're trying to figure out how serious you are, and I feel like there is this internal struggle for them. Half of them's like, oh, there's nothing to worry about. I always win. This will be easy. This will be great. And then the other half of them is like, what if you actually lose and then nobody likes you anymore? Crazy. Hello, Drew. How are you doing? Hi-yo. Hello, Jeffrey. Thank you for the fortune cookie. Ooh, Derek. I wish you luck on that, but let's not make that. I don't know. There could be some folks who need a little bit more positive inspiration there. Hello, Vasuki. How are you doing? I totally feel that, April. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. We've got the Knight of Wands. He's holding up someone else's hand and arm to wave. Uh-oh. So this is someone who's trying to come up with a way to cheat. So, okay, initially I was super confident. I've always won. I'll keep on winning. Like, who could doubt that? But then when they see you, like, training for that marathon, they get nervous. And they're like, oh, crap, maybe I really need to actually, like, try a little bit harder. Maybe I'm not going to be able to get this trophy or get this promotion as easily as I thought I was going to. Isn't it? Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you putting that out there. We've got Queen of Wands. The Star in the reverse and the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So, dang it, you're getting me to feel like I really need to train or I really need to try a little bit harder. Otherwise, I'm not going to get that trophy. Interesting, because this is the only star card I have that I know of that is like a trophy. So they feel concerned. Maybe it's not going to be as easy for me to win that promotion or win that trophy like I thought it would be. So I might have to try harder. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Interesting. All right. Let's see if the Imposter card comes out. This is the Path of Shadows. What else do we have? The Ghoul. In the shadows I dwell, feeding on what I can, not remembering when was the last time that life tasted well. So this could be someone who's lost their joie de vivre, or they don't necessarily put forth the effort that they should, and therefore we have a sense of entitlement here, right? In the dance of shadows, I conceal and evade. Fear's veil keeps me distant in the dark's cool shade. I think they're trying to cheat. I think they're trying to find a way to make it impossible for you to win or for you to be chosen. Sabotaging relationships. In the tangle of love, my demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ask them to dance. So I'm realizing that you're actually a decent opponent, and I might not win. So now I've realized maybe I need to come up with some sort of plan or even trick to make it impossible for you to win, even though you might be the better choice or you might be more adept at that thing, right? So we have someone losing their patience because they feel like you are going to steal their precious hot dog eating contest trophy. Or you are making them look like a bad choice. So there's someone who shows up randomly, and I do feel like this is your competition. Now, this is making me think of Grandma's Boy. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But at one point, what's his name? JP shows up at Alex's house, and he's like, nobody likes me, and tries to get some sympathy from Alex, the main character. And Alex is like, it's okay, here, why don't you like check out this game that I made? It's pretty cool, right? And if you've seen Grandma's Boy, you know that JP tries to steal credit for the game that Alex has been building because JP is seen as like the best, but he hasn't come up with anything new recently. So he's threatened by Alex's, I think the game is called Demonic. Finds a way to undermine Alex because he doesn't want to lose that like top dog. Like that's all he has. Like nobody wants to be my friend. The only thing that I have that makes me feel good about myself is the fact that I created these games. Intentions of the SUV. Ooh. That keeps driving by. That's a little creepy. Hopefully they're just a little bit lost. And hello, Ghost. How are you doing? You can do you can do a tip like Flower just did and include your question in the super chat, or you can email me for a longer / private reading where not everybody else is watching. And my email is in the description box, but it's wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. Thank you, Flower. How we doing today? Was it my fault if the police interview was a disaster? Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. I was rooting for y'all. Interview was a disaster and then rescheduled. Maybe the police dude was just, you know, having a rough day, or police lady with a man, or sorry. Oh, they asked you to prepare? I'm sorry it went that way. We'll see what we get for you, Flower. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Oops. Thank you for the flower. Oh, asked me not to prepare him. Yeah, that makes more sense. Then I feel like it can't be your fault. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you, Ghost. I'm adding that for you right now. Like career and job rise. Sorry, I said that weird. We'll get you some advice or guidance on that. Absolutely. I've added that for you, Ghost. Hey, Aiden, we're getting a little preachy, and I don't think you have the pulpit. So let's just make sure we're not trying to recruit or judge people in the live chat, okay, Aiden? Can we tone it down a little bit? Hello, Satya, how are you doing? It's a good song. Fridge, I have not started personal questions yet. We're at about 26 and a half minutes. So in about 9 minutes, I will start those personal questions. Let's get a few more from the situations deck. Hi, Aiden. Can you hear me? I asked you to please stop making it seem like this is a sermon. Oh, okay. You're getting a little mini timeout because it's seeming like you're trying to take us to some sort of church service. And look, I got a cross up here. I don't have a problem with your beliefs, but I do need you to chill out a little bit, okay, Aiden? Thank you, Rachel. All right, what else do we have? Roller coaster. Highest high, adrenaline rush. This is someone who feels like the only excitement they have right now tends to be from this award or this distinction or having this power or control. So if you come through and you win the trophy or you eat more hot dogs than them, they're gonna be upset because whatever high they got off of that is no longer gonna be theirs. And then like, what are they gonna have? They don't want to lose out on that, especially since they've had some difficulties with people maybe judging them or excluding them. What do we want? This is the Native American Tarot. What else do we have? Yes, all of their dogs in one basket. Hello, CTF. How are you doing today? So we have the Counting Coup and the Maiden of Pipes, which would be the Queen of Wands, and she's in the reverse. So I'm jealous because it seems like people are rooting for you, or I'm uncomfortable because it seems like you're gonna take that thing that makes me special and you're gonna claim it as your own. That's not fair. I like being the person who designs the video games, or I like being the person who eats all the hot dogs. If you take that away from me, if I'm no longer the top dog on that, then what can I brag about? What can I say, you know, in my bio on on Tinder? What can I brag about? Yeah, I know. Isn't that sad, Rachel? So we have this competitive energy and someone who feels like they need to find a way to make it so that you cannot win. Maybe I'll tell you the marathon is at this address when it's really over here. Maybe I'll tell you that I have this really good tip that helps you succeed in a marathon. This is what you need to do. But this is someone who feels like they need to make it more difficult for you to win. We have the Spiritualist, which is the Five of Swords or the Five of Blades, and the Matriarch of Shields or the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So I'm going to pretend to be your friend, or I'm going to pretend to be helpful, but in reality, I'm showing up to find some way to make it impossible for you to win. Maybe I'm going to, steal your skates. Maybe I'm going to delete your progress from your computer. Maybe I'm going to tell everyone that you broke the rules or you used steroids, right? Because if I don't do that, then I'm just gonna be teased by people. I won't have anything that I can brag about. You're taking the one thing that's really important to me, and I can't let that happen. So they're threatened by you. They're upset because they see you as someone who's actually like competitive, and they don't want you to win that harvest, the Ten of Pentacles. They want to make sure that you lose. So let's do something. Let's come up with some sort of a plan that makes it impossible for you to be successful. This is the Cagliostro Tarot, and after this, we'll start those personal questions, okay? Hey, Aiden, I literally just told you that I respect your religion, but this is my live chat. So, again, do not try to dominate my live chat. That's the last time I'm going to tell you. The next time I'm just going to time you out, okay? I don't have a problem with your religion. I have a problem with you telling everybody what they need to do. Hearing from your lawyer? I'm going to take a sip after that one. Tastes like BS. Nope. No, I won't be. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Hello, Leroy. What? All right. We're just going to get back to the reading because I'm sick of paying attention to that. All right, so we have the Queen of Clubs, or the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Hearts, or the Knight of Cups. Part of the issue here is you got people rooting for you. Like, hey, I'm used to being the winner. I'm used to being cheered on. People see me as the one who, gets the blue ribbon. And then you show up and you're like the underdog or whatever. I don't like it. Now people are rooting for you. That's not fair. Yes, it's true. So, look, I'm not saying that you need to give up. I think that there needs to be sportsmanship here, right? But there is someone who looks at this as the only thing that they have, and you're doing something better or smarter or faster than they are, and they can't stand it. How dare you? I've always been the winner. I've always been the one who takes home that trophy or is seen as like the master. I have that, skill set figured out. But now you're making me question who I really am or what I have to offer, because you might take that promotion or you might take that trophy from me. That's not cool. Sometimes people get a little too obsessed with winning. We have the Pope, the science of good and evil, inspiration and religion. Hello, Micheline, how you doing? Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of that flower, unfortunately. You're making it difficult for me to get that distinction or that, those bragging rights that I love. So I'm going to find a way to make it impossible for you to participate or compete. Because, again, this is all I have. So step aside Or, you know, I'm gonna steal your ballet shoes. I'm gonna, you know, cancel your alarm clock. I'm gonna do something that makes it so that you cannot take that trophy away from me. Or I'm gonna make it so that you can't eat that last hot dog. Oh, Lord. They don't want to compete against you fairly because they know if they do, that you will win. They're worried about this, so they're, you know, going crazy. What can I do to make sure that I win? Because I don't want to lose out on that title or that thing that makes me special. All right, well, I don't think they're going to be successful. I think they're going to trip over that because that's what happened in Grandma's Boy. That's what I'm going off of. JP didn't get away with it. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen that movie. All right, let's dive into personal questions. We've got James, Fridge, Shayla, Flower, and then Ghost. What shall we start with? We're gonna go with the Spellcasters Tarot for James. With regards to friends, how great is everything? For James, with regards to friends, how great is everything? We have the Fool. There's a new beginning here. The Hierophant. A sense of wanting to be on the same page, having the same perspective, understanding what's important. Four of Pentacles in the reverse, letting go of things that may cause frustration. And the Knight of Cups is like charming, friendly, and chivalrous behavior. This is pretty awesome, honestly. So is this like 9 out of 10? We have the Two of Swords in the reverse, decisive energy. So we don't have any like back and forth energy. Seven of Pentacles, nurturing. Three of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Magician. I feel like there's something here about your social circle where we've been through similar issues or similar betrayals or disappointments, and we've dealt with people who did not want to be honest, but we've overcome those issues. So pretty awesome. Yes, although there is someone here who is one person who is not quite through something difficult here, and they might have some need for advice or inspiration from someone else in the group. With this Two of Wands, it's like they're distracted by something kind of superficial or not that important and missing out on something that could like overnight become kind of a problem. So will the friends help this person? Only if they ask. So there is a friend here who may be letting, it's like they left the faucet on and it's about to flood the kitchen, you know? But I feel like there's a lot of, we've been through difficult things, we've learned from difficult things. There's one person who might be a little bit younger, a little bit less experienced, who needs some looking in on. Like, hey there, hey, so is your refrigerator running? Hey, so did you put enough gas in your car there? Oh, golly, it sure looks like maybe you left your windows down and I think it's about to storm. So check in on your friends, especially if you know who I'm talking about, this person who may be a little bit less experienced. They're distracted right now and they don't realize that something could turn into a bigger issue. All right, let's see what we've got for our Fridge. And happy birthday again, by the way. Will I find love again? Will Fridge find love again? Hello, love lights. How you doing? Will Fridge find love again? Yes, with the Knight of Cups, which is a romantic card. Yes, you will, Fridge. Fear not. We have the Magician in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse, and the High Priestess. You have a new life or a new chapter of love starting after you acknowledge the types of energies you need to ignore or no longer entertain in romance. So has Fridge let go of this? Not quite. There's someone here that you would entertain. Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's someone that you know as a friend who is a repeat of that same energy. And the universe is like, don't you recognize that problem by now? Don't you kind of see that that could be, I don't know, a little not good? I'm going to compare this to drinking for some reason. When you are in, late teens, early 20s, no matter what the laws are, usually that's about the time that people are starting to realize, I like that, I don't like that. If I drink that, it's a decent, happy time, but if I drink that, it's bad. Mad Dog 2020, bad. Wine, good. This is you got a list going in terms of what works and what doesn't. But the list for what you would entertain romantically is too long. You need to be more selective. There's someone here that you would potentially date or that you are currently entertaining. Or there's someone who's about to express interest in you and you're like, oh, this could be trouble, but maybe I'll just see how it goes. Nope, nope, nope. They are the human equivalent of Mad Dog 2020. If you have never had Mad Dog 2020 before, you must live a very, very special life, a privileged life. Mad Dog 2020 is pretty disgusting. Ooh. We talk about Norway? I love Norway. Yes, the churches in Norway are gorgeous. I think most of those are built without nails. Yeah, I don't drink anymore. But basically, Fridge, if you can limit a little bit what you would be interested in on the romantic side, there's just a little bit more lesson learned required. Then you meet this person who is balanced and is going to be good to you. So I don't think it's too far down the line for you, but you have the option to kind of skip ahead if you don't get involved with this person who's not super trustworthy. I highly recommend Norway. I did Norway in a nutshell. It was amazing. You do a yacht or a boat trip, you do a bus trip, and a train trip. I think there's actually maybe 2 of each. It was just stunning, amazing. And we got to see Sonjafjorden, which is a giant waterfall. All right, Fridge, again, happy birthday. You will find love, but you gotta get a little bit more selective. And when this happens, it will be glorious. All right, we have Shayla up next. Hello, Chris, how are you doing? Did I say hello to Key Controller? I think I did. Hello, Steven, what's up? Yes. Well, I mean, I work every day, so I don't know. And also, Norway would be expensive. But if I can afford it, how could I say no? When I went to Norway, I went with my mom and my aunt, and we literally saw the lighthouse where my great-grandfather was born before they left for the United States, which is pretty cool. It's just a little thing. Just a little lighthouse. Dr. Pepper cheesecake. I don't know. How much does it cost? that much. Just kidding. All right, so what are the intentions of the SUV that keeps driving by Shayla's place? We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, the Eight of Cups, Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the King of Cups. I feel like this is just someone who doesn't know where they are. So does Shayla have any reason to be concerned? Not really. This is just someone who feels like they know where they are, but they really don't. Or they've been given directions that aren't specific enough. So they're struggling with making the right decision. Look, when I was touring apartments, I was like struggling to find one of them. I couldn't find like the office. I'm like, I feel like this is something you should make real easy for people if you want them to choose to live here. But we just have, what I'm saying is we have somebody who was in the neighborhood for a little bit of naked time, and now they don't know how to get out of the neighborhood. Hopefully it's not like sneaky. But we have someone who, it's like if I call the person that I was just hanging out with, they would judge me if I told them that I don't know how to get out of here. So yeah, I feel like there was some sort of hookup. And now this person's like, I don't know where the exit is. I don't know where the highway is. How do I get out of here? It's okay. I don't think they know what you got going on. All right, let's see what we've got for flower. This is the Cats Rule the Earth. Yeah. Well, you know, some people really, they don't know how to drive. Yes, exactly, Rachel. So for flower, I'm sorry to hear that the interview thing was rescheduled. Was it Flower's fault if the police interview was a disaster? Well, they're a little bit harsh today. They're saying, yes, it was. It's like you did one thing right and you forgot to do another. So it's like, congratulations, you know, got all of the trash collected from your apartment or your house, but then you left it right outside your door instead of taking it to the trash chute or the actual like dumpster. So it's like, don't worry. It'll be okay. You still have the opportunity with this rescheduled interview to do things the right way. There's a little bit more that you can do to deal with this. And you don't want to like prep him and tell him what to say, but you also have some sense of responsibility here that maybe was not fully addressed. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I do feel like you're going to figure this out. There's going to be a new approach. And how will the rescheduled interview go? I feel like your son is shy initially, but then the story comes out. The second one will go better after a little bit of shyness up front. And with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, we have information about instability in the home coming through. I feel like there's also something you didn't realize was happening that gets talked about, and it does feel like the second one goes better. So breathe a sigh of relief. It'll be okay. Yes. Yes. I mean, it's got to feel like I'm in trouble or something, right? For a little kid. But it's not like you spilled red wine on a white carpet. Everything's going to be fine. You have another opportunity. We have 2 4s here. So the number 4 is important. But I do feel like he's going to be able to handle this better the next time. So don't be too harsh on yourself. It'll be all right. All right, let's see what we have for Ghost. That is correct, Shayla. I think it's like 35 or 37 or something. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. You'll figure it out, and so will he. All right, so for Ghost, what career advice do we have for Ghost, please? 5 of Swords in the reverse. The Fool and the Tower. So what I'm picking up, Ghost, is that you have an ability to stay calm in difficult situations. Maybe you weren't always this way, but I feel like you can help people that are going through it. Now, what does that mean? You could be like a crisis counselor, or you could be someone who helps rebuild after like a natural catastrophe causes issues in someone's home. But I feel like you're able to address difficult situations more calmly than other people, or you know how to like build the list or like the Gantt chart of this needs to happen, and then this can happen, and then this can happen, and then bingo, we're where we need to be. So I see you being able to help people rebuild or get stability back after a chaotic situation or like a natural catastrophe. Maybe even trauma. So that could mean you end up working in some sort of like legal capacity, like a lawyer, or it could mean that you're dealing with, what's that fancy word? When you're getting things back, remediation, after like a flood or something like that. Hello, Ria, how are you doing? You're welcome, Fridge. But again, we have a reference to things being healed or put back the way that they need to be with that 4 of Swords. So is there some sort of certification or education that Ghost needs for this? Yes. But I don't feel like it would take too much time, or I don't feel like it's super expensive. I feel like it's kind of a field that doesn't have a ton of people who are seeking it out specifically. But you have this capacity to help people get things back to where they need to be after a difficult time. We have the Hermit in the reverse. You get some sort of satisfaction, and why wouldn't you, of being there for somebody who doesn't know what to do or doesn't know how to handle the situation. You can be like a helping hand. So it's fulfilling. The Knight of Pentacles. You help people get through the difficult times and see through, you know, the rubble to how things could be put back the way that they need to be, what process they need to follow, or what number they need to call, or, you know, hey, go stay at the local hotel. We're gonna figure everything out for you. We'll get those pipes fixed, or, you know, this is the legal process so that we can get you into a safer spot. I see you helping people. It does require a little bit of education or like mentoring with someone, shadowing someone. Hello, Egyptian Empress, how are you doing? But you're assisting people who are in a difficult situation and shining a light on, okay, here's the direction we need to go, here's the process that you need to follow, and everything is going to be just fine, don't you worry. So you have a calming presence about you. It's going to help a lot of people. All right, y'all, it's hot in here. I need to blow out these candles. I love you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. If I didn't say hello, hello, Sacred. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.